Let's bring in Richard Berthelsen, our CTV News Royal commentator. Richard, thank you as always for joining us.
Pleasure.
We're saying minor injuries, but if she may have got kicked in the head by a horse, is that a minor injury?
Well, again, we don't know exactly. I think it could be concussion. It probably is something that needs a little bit of attention and observation over a number of days. The princess herself has had several injuries of this type as a result of her career as an equestrian jumper. It's an extremely dangerous sport. In fact, when she was in Montreal in 1976 in the Olympics, she fell and blacked out when she was competing in the Olympics there. So she has had these kind of things before. She has been briefly hospitalized for this. So it may be because of that history. Again, we don't know her medical situation, but I think out of an abundance of caution, working with someone at her age and someone who is obviously very high profile, it's probably thought we might keep a look at her for a few days and let her rest and recover.
Which, of course, very disappointing for the people of Newfoundland and Labrador who are hoping to see her on Canada Day.
Well, disappointing for them and shocking to the princess because she is the hardest working member of the royal family in most years. She is really the steady hand behind the current situation where, two senior members of the royal family are being treated with cancer. She has at least 9 engagements this week alone, 2 with a Commonwealth Agricultural Conference that she's involved in. And of course, she's going to fly to Newfoundland for a couple of days, maybe no more than 48 hours. And of course, people will remember Newfoundland recently repatriated a soldier who is the unknown soldier from the Royal Newfoundland Regiment. The remains have never been identified. And now those were going to be reinterred this weekend, along with the rededication of the major monument to the Royal Newfoundland Regiment, which in the battles in World War I lost almost every member of the regiment. So this is a very significant thing in Newfoundland. July 1st is marked as Memorial Day in Newfoundland, as well as Canada Day, and the princess is going to be there because she's been colonel-in-chief of that regiment, a role she takes very seriously since 1987.
Is there a chance she could make a video appearance for this?
Well, the statement from the palace sort of suggests that. I think that is possible, obviously, in these days of hybrid work. The princess will, do everything she can to honor this commitment because she is like that. It's going to take a team of horses to keep her from work over the next while. She'll be very disappointed, and she doesn't like to disappoint people. She works almost every day that she can, whether she's sick or under the weather or whatever. So I think she'll do what was appropriate. But of course, the ceremony, she would have played a central role in it because she is colonel of that regiment. But of course, a member of the royal family there for such a significant occasion, and she has been there for other occasions like this, is a very important element of the ceremony, which will now not take place.
Okay, and all her other events, you mentioned how busy she is. Who else will be stepping in for her? Is there anybody?
Well, there really isn't. The royal family's pretty thin on the ground at the moment. That's part of the problem. Obviously, other members of the royal family will be involved with the Japanese state visits, so that's not an issue. But she does have a couple of openings, things dealing with yachting and other issues this week, as well as a Commonwealth conference, which, she's not going to be able to do. So it's possible her husband could deliver her remarks, but I think those engagements will go unfilled, and she'll want to be back at work as soon as possible. And I'm sure many people will be wishing for her good health because she's an extremely popular member of the royal family.
Absolutely. Richard, thank you as always for your analysis.